आवाज नहीं आ रही?
बैंचोद
आ गई
हाँ
ये आ गई थी. चल ठीक है, आई एम टाइपिंग.
let me start from scratch again. Fuck bench. ये अबे यार मेरे को थोड़ा सा बोरिंग लग रहा था, ठीक है, तो मेरे को लगा कि जावा वाली बकवास अपने को थोड़ी बीच में
हाँ
उठानी
सही
पड़ेगी.
सही, नहीं नहीं, that is completely fine, but यार पता है
9,99,000, almost 1 million.
yeah, so like failed request is zero basically, and the peak RPS was 2,54,700, exceptionally good. From this very first video we are starting codecast series where we will be uploading videos specifically for ultimate job ready path. क्या बोलूं पहले, मैं अपना सिंगल वीडियो तो कहते ये क्या हो गया भाई, ड्रामा. छी छी.
वही वही तो बोला, ये अपना जानवर ही गलत आ गया स्टार्ट होते ही. तुम क्या अच्छे जानवर आ गए. मैं करता हूँ भैया.
Okay. Yeah. Hey everyone.
So, hello everyone. My name is Anurag, and he is my friend Chinmay, and we are starting a new series here. We named it as a codecast, where we will be explaining and writing very interesting, very production grade code from all over the arenas. Like it may be from IT industry, maybe scientific programming or astronomy or maybe trading. So this is our first video where we will be writing highly scalable gRPC server and client, and it can handle millions of requests.
Yeah,
So
basically,
Chinmay, for the client, over to you.
yeah,
For the
basic.
server, over to you.
For the server, basically, it can, the server I'm writing in Java, and this server can, as of now, we created a Golang, or we'll be creating a Golang client script which will try to make concurrent requests like up to 1 million to the server, and the server can handle like 200k plus requests per second, and at the same time it can save those like records in DB as well. And for DB we are using PostgreSQL using Docker. So basically in this codecast series we are going to upload like many videos, and they will be like, as Anurag said, they will be specific to like production grade, or like which are already being used in industry. Anyways,
Yeah, so Chinmay, I would like to add one more thing, that these courses, like these videos, are not for beginners. We are assuming that you have the basic understanding of all the basic concepts. Maybe in whatever the programming language you are using, you knows the basic concepts like data structures, connection pooling, and what is gRPC server and how the www works. So these videos are not for beginners, not at the introductory level. These are for
at least like beginner to intermediate level, like somewhere
yes,
around
yes,
beginner
yes.
to intermediate.
So you will, these code will make you absolutely job ready. When you will write these kind of stuff in your resume, it will heavily increase your weightage.
This, like such projects will shine your resume somehow.
Yes, yes.
And for such type of training or courses, you can say like we have both like free or paid training. So if you are interested in that, then like you can contact us. That will fine. And yeah, of course, as you said that these videos are not for beginners at all, because like we are not going to explain basic things. We are just even in this video we are just going to write the core functionality of the code. I'm not going to write everything from this scratch, like the gRPC file or the database configuration for Java, that you have to do by yourself, or you can just look at the documentation. And same for the Golang. Anurag is not going to write everything from the scratch. He's just going to write, I think the connection pooling and the worker pool,
Yes,
most
yes.
probably. Yeah. So he's going to do that. So okay, I'll go first. I will start writing my uh, high performance service implementation, which is in Java, which can handle up to 200k DB request per second. So okay, let's start. I'll go first. Let me type. Okay, so first I'm just going to write this core feature, which is the implementation of high performance service. So if you look at this class, this is public class high performance server. We have defined some very basic things here, like server, port, and executor service. Executor service, basically we are using Java 21's a virtual thread. In Java, virtual thread is like go routine or coroutine in Kotlin. They are not actual CPU threads, so that's why we call it virtual thread pool. Okay, so this is basically, you can refer for this to the documentation and you will find this easily. Like if you search for native server with Java, so you can find all these things on internet. So I'm just going to write this specific implementation. Okay, so it's a private class high performance service implementation, which is extending the gRPC service which we have defined here. If you look at the protocol, this is the simple protocol where we have a request which will come with the data, and response which will have a status, and it has to be like for batch processing it has to be real time, so that's why we are having streams. And for single request it will be like having simple request and response pattern. So that's quite easy. For database configuration, I just copy pasted my database configuration, which you can refer here. Okay, so now let's go back to the file. Okay, so you have to define response. Okay, response dot new builder. Okay, so I'm just going to implement this high performance service implementation. So let's start with and I think I can copy paste this one because this is easy. it will save our time. So I have this. Okay, so basically we are just trying to prepare a response which we need to respond to our gRPC client. Okay, the core thing here that why this Java gRPC service is very fast, because we are using batch processing using final blocking queue. In Java, this is a little bit advanced topic, which is blocking queue, which is efficient than normal queue like in terms of data structure. There is one more queue like which is even better than this, that is array blocking queue. So after this, basically we just start batch processing using our thread pool, and now we need to implement this method, this like process batches. This method will process like a batching, like directly try to save data in our DB batching, because while we are getting 200 plus K like per second, because we are using batching. If we try to save DB rows like one by one, then definitely like even logically we won't be able to get that much performance. Private void process batches, and this method basically having a list of request data, and we take an array list while true try. I think Anurag has never done programming in Java, correct?
No. I actually don't like Java because of this long syntax here.
I don't like Java. But yeah, most of the companies are using Java in their backend. I mean, yeah.
It's an enterprise level language.
Initially, I also didn't like Java, but yeah, now like it's my job, so I have to do it. Anyhow, like Java is just a tool. So like when you are a mature programmer or like tech person, you don't care much about tools. Tools are just tools, and you focus on your goal basically. Yeah. So what we are doing here, we try to collect 100,000 requests, and then we will give a like 100 millisecond break, like delay basically. This how. So there is a deadline of 100 millisecond, and then we collect like either we collect 100 requests for a batch, or we wait for 100 millisecond. I'll just try to copy paste the code rather than writing it, and then I'll try to explain it. Okay, in process batch, there should be request, not batch. That's why there's an error. Okay, why is an error for request queue? Where's the request queue? Okay, I think this should be not reuse queue, it should be request queue. Request queue. Fuck. Do this. Yeah, done. What happened? It's fine. You can say. It's fine. Okay, so basically what we are doing, like we are just checking the batch size. If the batch size is less than 100, or we have a like we like cross the deadline of 100 millisecond, we just try to create a request of 100 like db rows, and then we try to poll that like those requests into the queue, like the requested poll basically. So this is what we are doing here. And like even after processing the whole batch, if there is a request like in the batch, then we will try to handle that individually by adding to that like adding to that request into the batch. That's all. This is a like easy process. Then we have this thing process, like for the final check we are checking the batch again as a final check. If there is a request there, we'll try to push it. That's all. And I think that this will basically keep pushing, like as long as you are having something in the queue, this while loop will try to push that uh, in your db, like 100, like as a like batch of 100 db rows size. I mean, yeah, something like that. So yeah, after that I think we are just finished with this. Okay, then we have this method which we I think no here, yeah, this is the method which what we are doing, we are just trying to respond to our client, because this is like stream observer having a response type, and we are just responding to our client with okay response, because this is a okay response. If you like check it, this is a okay response, so your client will be getting okay as a string response. So that's all we are doing here, and this is a process method. It is like simple gRPC stuff. If you will check the official gRPC documentation, and if you will go in the Java section, you can get all these things very easily. And we already said that this video is not for completely beginner, and I think as of now there was nothing like very difficult, except that this class is having a block until shutdown. So as long as we are not shutting down our gRPC server, this will block the thread and will keep running your server. That's why we are using it. And in the main function, we are just creating an object of high performance server, and then we are a start server. And if you click on the start, this is the method. This is the start method, which again calls some other start method, which is defined in server dot class, which is coming from a gRPC implementation here. Okay, so again, if I go through the file very quickly, we are having a server which is coming from gRPC dependency. We are having a port, we are having thread pool, and then this is the basic default gRPC configuration. This is not like there's a not which you can find on documentation, because it is having thread pool, and it is basically using the full potential of full power of native server based on gRPC. And right now we are using 32 threads. You can use threads like 64 or 128, and depends like on a system completely, so you can like play with the numbers. And we are in this stream, if you make this 50,000, then your client can only then your client will be able to connect for only 50,000 stream. If you do it 1k, you can connect 1k. Yeah, anyways, so this was the basic code implementation for high performance server in Java based on gRPC, not HTTP. So when Anurag will be Anurag will be finishing with his golang code, if he will try to make 1 million requests to this Java server, this Java server will be able to save those requests under 5 or 6 seconds. So that's how it will be performing. Now let me look. Now let me have a look at the code where okay. So basically, Anurag is supposed to write.
Bootstrapping the basic
Yeah,
functionality.
definitely, of course.
I will
Yeah,
just write the basic logic only. All the other things are bootstrapped.
yeah, perfectly.
So
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, you can share my window. Yes.
Yeah, done.
So yeah, I understood the server code very well. Like I'm not a big fan of Java, but I'm trying to learn Java. Yeah, basically I was in Indonesia last month, and I visited this Java island. So there
How's the coffee?
so
Uh,
so there is a very famous, like the logo of Java itself is a cup of coffee. So here we are having the cup of coffee from
yeah,
Java,
and I'm having
from Java,
green, and
from
and
Java,
I'm
writing Java.
and I'm having tea. Yeah,
Yeah. So this is literally we are drinking Java and writing Java code.
yeah.
Yeah. So as Chinmay have written his server in Java, we will be writing. Actually, I will be explaining the golang client. I will not be writing the code. I will be just explaining. Uh, so first few lines, like line number till line number 30, is just housekeeping things. We are creating structs and for metrics and configurations. And so let's say if line number 10 gives total request, success request, these variables will be used for gauging our performance, how our server is working. In fact, how our client is also working. And this configuration struct is used to pass command line arguments uh, to optimize the parameters from where we can get the highest performance.
Definitely.
We have optimized few of the things, and we will see those parameters, what the parameters we are using for our configuration on the MacBook, which are giving us the highest performance. So, okay, just moving on the main function. This line number 40 till line number 45 is just housekeeping. Now, the most important lines is starts from 48, the connection pool. So we are making, if you are familiar with the Golang syntax, the make functions creates and slice or creates an array. So we are giving an gRPC collection, gRPC client connection type of object in that array, and the size of the array would be, we will be passing in the command line. It may be 10, 100, 20, whatever we want to give it. Okay, so next, the for loop runs for that number of times. We are giving how many connections we want to create in that array. So below that code is like just I have copied it from the documentation of gRPC. So it's just a standard code. You can get it from the documentation.
Yeah, I just say it's standard code, and this is like one multiplied by 1025 is just the like size of the data. Like in gRPC, just like HTTP, you don't try to transfer data in the form of text or JSON. And you just try to like in the binary format. So like
Mm.
search the data, and I think it's 2 MB. Yeah, 2 MB, which is
Maybe
sufficient.
if yes,
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 2 MB. Yeah.
it's maybe 2 MB, and because it is transferring data in binary format, it is more faster than the our simple HTTP, which passes data in maybe JSON format or XML format.
Yeah, like more serialized. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So then moving down, scroll down a little bit. So we are just initializing the matrix variables and this channel. Yeah, the channel is an important concept here, where it works as a standard input and a standard output. Both we takes an input and push it to the screen, or maybe any variable to the
Yeah.
output.
Yeah, okay. Channels basically because we are trying to record the metrics like one by one, like per request metrics. So we just want to put some result on the like standard output, which will be a terminal. In this case, or like channel is something Golang, like a pipe. You put some value from here, and then you get the value here. So for the number of requests, like we like the passing or filling, we will record the result, and we will pass the result to this channel pipeline, and this channel will put those result in onto your terminal. So like you can see the metrics in real. I mean, and I don't think like we have to explain like what are the
Uh,
metrics.
It is
It's like
not so
pretty easy.
important
It's
actually. It's
pretty
not.
easy.
It's just for the
Yeah,
metrics purpose
just
only.
for
It's
like
not
make this
important.
make this implementation of test like very pretty beautiful or a human readable form. Metrics is just metrics, nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we are creating a request object from this and ampersand PV is coming from our proto file actually,
Yeah.
and we have defined the request object in our proto file, which will take a data as an parameter, and we are just passing an test script. Whatever
Yeah.
you want, you can write it there. It's just a test script, just a request object, simple request object. Okay. Then we are starting a time to some record keeping, how much our request is taking time to fetch the data. This is just data, just three, 4 lines for the capturing the metrics. So another important thing here is request per worker.
Yeah.
So we are passing few parameters. One of them is number of requests, and another parameter is concurrency.
Yeah,
So
in
let's
this
say,
case, like number of requests coming from the
huh,
configuration, which will be the 1 million, and the concurrency like maybe 100. So 1 million divided by 100,
maybe
like
100.
10,000.
So
Yeah.
your request per worker will become 10,000,
Yeah.
because we have total number of number requests is 1 million, and concurrency is 100. So your total request number workers per request will become 10,000. So our connection pool will run on the loop of 10,000. So this
Yeah.
is, if you are writing a code on different machine, this is one of the parameters you might want to tweak
Yeah,
something up
definitely.
and down.
Yeah,
This is
because
one of the
yeah,
important parameters.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Then moving on. As I said, this we are for the concurrency, we will be running the loop for let's say 100 times, and we will create 100 workers.
Yeah, we'll get like 100 like go routines, and go routine is like very important concept in Golang, which is like handle the concurrency. And in this particular thing, in this particular case, we are trying to manage the structured concurrency, which is like a worker pool concept. You are having a worker pool of in this case a worker pool of 100 worker, mean 100 go routines, which will try to throw 10,000 requests basically. So each
Bilkul.
worker will be
Correct.
pushing 10,000 requests concurrently. So this 1 million request will be going like concurrently to the
Correct.
server. That's why, I mean, that's how we can push our server to its limit, to like to test like how scalable or like how reliable or how durable it is. So like that's how we are doing somehow, like these things basically. It's not important, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
pretty simple
So
Go concept. Yeah.
so for the client, we cannot simulate a real world client until we use a concurrency, because
Definitely.
we have only one laptop, two laptop, three laptop, but we do not have hundred or millions of laptop. To achieve that effect, that hundreds and thousands of requests are coming from different customers, we are using this concurrency concept. We are creating a different 100 workers with 10,000 requests per worker.
Definitely.
Okay, let's go. Let's move ahead. Uh, yeah, scroll up a little bit. Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up a little bit. Upar, upar. Yeah. So line number 80 is the one of the most important part of this code, where we are recording the time on the line number 90. We are recording the time of the request for that go routine, and then we are this client dot process is nothing but this is the actual call. This is the actual call to the server, which will hit, which will pass our request object the data keyword with test string, will be dropped to the client, to the server. So this line is actually hitting our server. What we for the HTTP guys, for the mainstream guys, it is called post, put, get, whatever the request. It is this process request is that request only. Okay. So and after that latency is how much time the above line took the time, because we are noting the start request time from time dot now, and we are executing the next line, and the third line is the latency between the above two lines.
Yeah.
So it's actually getting the how much time it spent on the server
Definitely.
and came back. It came back. After that, it is just we are just modifying the metrics attributes to
Just simple
capture
stuff.
the data.
And
That's it.
I don't think,
That's
and I don't think like you like we have to we have to explain such thing, because like
Mm.
that is just to make the test human readable. That's it. I mean, it's a pretty like self-explanatory.
Mm.
Yeah,
So yeah, these two functions below those function parse flag for the beginners. Maybe it's just a command line
command
argument,
arguments.
a function to take the command line arguments, and we can tweak the actual parameters here. If we don't give any command line arguments,
Yeah, like
these
go,
parameters which are defaulted will be used.
like you can do like
This is
go
how. Yeah.
request equals to one, and then concurrency.
If you have to change,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
how
change like
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they will be used by default.
yeah,
Whatever you have hard coded in
definitely.
the code in the scripts.
So now, as on my, it's going to like have a 1 million total requests, 1024 concurrent co-workers, and then the no connection or 10 basically. Okay, so again, like one last time, I want to say that this code like this specific series from Codecast is a job ready. That's why it is not for beginner, because a beginner is not a job ready person. I mean, like we have to say that. I mean, like
Yeah, there's a deadlock. There is a deadlock in at least in India
yeah,
that if you don't have job, you will not have experience.
yeah. If you don't have
And
experience,
if you don't have experience, you will not have the job. So this deadlock is very hard to break in at least in India. I don't know. I'm not sure about uh, outside India.
that's why that's why we are doing this codecast series, because such experiences you don't face. I mean, you don't have a chance to face such experiences if you don't work for a company like at least a mid-sized company, because yeah, I mean, you don't in your day-to-day life on YouTube or on on Udemy, you don't try to scale a server up to 1 million or like
Hmm.
5 million.
Literally,
You do this
literally.
only when you work for a company. So that's why we are trying to make you job ready with this codecast series, and we have a lot of content like this. Most of them are paid. Few of them are few of them are free. So whatever is free, we'll try to put it here. And yeah, that's how it works. So okay, now I think it's like it's been almost an hour. So I think we should try to test
Yeah.
this.
Just try
Okay.
and test it. Show our viewers how fast it is.
Yeah. So first of all, like I would like to try. I would like to run the server first, and why I'm running server first, because client is configured to start throwing request as soon as we start the client. So we might get some error. So we have to run server first. So let's run our server first. Okay, it is running. It is server started on port 9090, which is a gRPC port, like default port. And now if I try to run this golang script, load test. Okay, so let's try. Enter. Like 58,000 per second, 1 lakh 27,000. The peak was 2 lakh 27,000 requests per second, and I can show you the dB as well, because I just want to show that, like, okay, let's like flush our dB and try it one more time. So yeah, it took 4.55 second for this number of, okay, there is like we were trying to make 1 million, but we ended up making 99 lakhs 9,424 request.
9,99,000,
Yeah,
almost 1 million.
yeah. So like failed request is zero basically, and the peak RPS was 2,54,700. Exceptionally good. Okay, so if you try to check our DB, so if you run a SQL query, so you will get the exact same number. Okay,
Yeah,
99.
screen is not visible. Yeah.
It's not visible. I don't know how can I make it visible, but this is like, okay. Maybe it is not visible on Anurag screen because I'm not sharing it on
Okay, okay,
Google Meet,
got
but
it.
it is like it
Yeah,
is being
got
recorded.
it, got it.
So one more time, I will flush the DB. Okay, I will flush the DB and I will try to test one more time, the final time, load test, and we are able to save 1 million DB records in just 4.32 seconds with the average latency of 4.32 ms, and the peak RPS was 2 lakh 56, almost like 250k DB rows are being saved per second. If you try to run this SQL query in a DB, which now I can show to Anurag because he already checked the number. Yeah, look at the number. It is 99424, and in the golang script we were having 99424.
Yep.
So like the number of successful requests and the number of DB rows saved are exactly same. So that's how you can make a highly efficient scalable gRPC server in Java. So okay, this was
Actually,
yeah.
actually,
Go
this
ahead.
number is very impressive for a single, single commercial machine which you are
It's
having till
extremely
now.
well. Yeah, it's
So,
it's
but
good.
actually, what happens in the production level, what happens in the industry is that they will be routing your traffic on based on your location, or maybe based on your the first name or last name, most whatever they decide. But it's mostly on the location. Let's say North India's traffic goes to a single server and South India's traffic goes to another server. So even if 10 million people are making requests from North India, it will be handled seamlessly from a different set of machines, and South Indian requests go to different set of machines. So that's how maybe the large scale industries like Netflix or Hotstar are streaming or maybe giving data to their users across the world, because they have different machines allocated to this routing is happening on the different level. So this is for the just home like machine. If you have a very powerful machine, this number can be increased quite manifold.
Yeah, definitely, because like what we are trying to like what we have just shown to the like audience, like if you know like how to write a good code, so you
Mm.
like like you always don't have to like increase the number of pods or the instances. You can just write a good code, and then like you can have a like 1 million concurrent users on your on your own application just with a one single laptop, and you don't have any like microservice architecture or how to say like very expensive cloud resources. If you can write good code, you can handle at least this much request like with your home machine. So like you can run your own business basically, like definitely if
Yeah,
you are
10
like
million is
having
very
like
good
100k.
number, very good number for a startup itself.
Definitely. I mean, even I don't think like any startup like in initial first year or the like 6 month can get this number of like requests daily. Like every second 250k requests are like huge.
No, no,
It's a very
not
huge.
well.
Like yeah, definitely. Anyways, so this was the first codecast video which we have done together, and in upcoming days, almost every weekend, we will try to put some high value engineering content like this. Yeah. So Anurag, if you would like to mention something, you can, and then yeah, we can call it a day.
I think that's it. Yeah, you have a best opportunity. You have a best option to get the industry grade code, industry grade knowledge, or industry grade concepts from this channel. Please, if you like our content and this codecast thing is very new. If you like this thing, then you can please consider to subscribe and like. That's
Yeah, it's up to you. If you if
it.
you really want to be the heavy engineer, do
It's garbage.
subscribe.
It's garbage.
If you don't want to be, go to
It's your choice.
Udemy.
If you can subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, you can skip.
Go to Udemy or make an e-commerce app. Bye bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Okay.